searching for the sign.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have been waiting most of today to make this video, but every element is working against me. There's a storm moving in, so we might hear some thunder. The maintenance people at the apartment have been cutting the grass off and on all day, so I said, you know what, I need to just sit down and make this video, because if not, it will not go up. So I hope we don't get too many noises in the background, but if we do, I apologize. So today I'm going to be talking about the trip that my husband and I took. We went to St. George Island, Florida. I'm just going to be going over all the different little things we did each day. I took little clips the whole time we were there, so I will be inserting those as I talk. I really wanted to film this video while we were there in our little cute Airbnb room. The air conditioning was so loud, and there really wasn't a way that I could film with turning that off because it was already having a hard time keeping up with the Florida heat. So I took as many videos as I could while I was there, so I could compile all of them together and make this video today. So we drove down on June 24th. That was a Saturday. We drove from where we live in Tennessee down to St. George Island, which was about a 6.5-hour drive for us. It took us on these back roads, so there really was no place to stop for food or gas or anything like that. There were a couple of places, but I mean, it's not like the highway where every certain amount of miles they have a place for you to stop off. But that made the drive really, really pretty. We were kind of in the back roads, rolling hills of Georgia the whole time, so it made for a really pretty drive. We got there around 3:30 and we went and checked in at our Airbnb. We stayed at the Island Suites. They were right on the water, and I booked this through Airbnb. This is not sponsored at all. This is just something that I found. Their check-in process was going to their realtor building and getting all the information that we needed to then go to our Airbnb and check in. One thing that was really nice was our door had a keypad on it to check in, so that was really easy. We didn't have to worry about keys all week going down to the beach and back and forth and different things like that. We were just able to enter our PIN, get in, super easy. Our first night there, we went to a restaurant called BJ's Pizza. Their pizza was really good. I will say their service was not so much, but apparently they're known for that, so I won't say anything else about it. We got the margarita pizza that first night, and we added red sauce because most of their sauces are just like oil and garlic. So we asked for a red sauce on it, and it made it chef's kiss. We also walked around a little bit since we had been sitting for so long that day, and we went to this big building there called the Sugar Kingdom that is just full of chocolate and candy and those fun bottles of soda that you really can only find in stores like that. And we ended up getting these truffles. My husband got a raspberry one and I got a peanut butter and banana one, and it was so good. We actually went back our last night and got more of them. So day 2 on Sunday, we went down and enjoyed the water. It was so calm and beautiful. Of course, we're in the Gulf, Mexico Beach, so it truly was just beautiful water, very warm water also. One thing that was really cool is we saw dolphins every day while we were there, so that was like a really sweet little God gift each day, whether they were jumping out of the water or just you would see their fins as they went by. It was really fun and truly magical to see. When we go on beach trips, we usually try to take something like sandwich ingredients and chips that we can just make and take down to the beach with us. Since I'm pregnant right now, I can't eat turkey and ham, which is really sad because I love that. So we ended up doing chicken salad, which worked out just as fine. So we also had our sandwiches and chips and some fruit that we would take down each day and eat while we were on the beach. Most afternoons we spent inside, where we would just relax, get out of the sun some, take a shower, cool off before we went back out into the heat for dinner. That second day on Sunday was June 25th, which is actually my husband and Mai's wedding anniversary. So we have been married for 2 years. We went to a restaurant called the Beach Pit, which was your typical seafood restaurant on a beach. I got a shrimp po' boy, which was really good. There wasn't any sauce on it, but that's okay. I asked for some mayo and that helped a little bit. We also shared a key lime pie to celebrate our anniversary, and that key lime pie was really yummy. We both really enjoyed it a lot. So on day 3, which was Monday, we also went down to the water, got everything set up and parked, but it was so windy that day. And our beach umbrella could not cope with the wind, and it ended up breaking. It folded inside out, sideways, all the things. And so we ended up going in a little bit earlier because that sun was so hot that it was kind of hard to sit out without an umbrella. So that night we ended up leaving the island and going to a town that was very close by, about 20 minutes away, called Apalachicola. And we went there mainly because they had an Ace where we went and ended up buying a canopy that we could use the rest of the week, because all the umbrellas that they had on the island were worse quality than the one we had, and we knew that it wouldn't withstand if it was windy again. We got ourselves a big old canopy that now we'll have for years to come, and we can use in the future for kids and different things like that too. But while we were at Apalachicola, we went out to dinner there, and we went to the Owl Cafe tap room. So there is the Owl Cafe, which wasn't open that day, and then they also have a tap room, but that tap room also has a bunch of really yummy food. I got fish tacos and they were delicious, super good. It had this like chipotle aioli on it, and it was really good. And my husband got crab cakes that he also really enjoyed. Apalachicola is a really cute little town. We were gonna walk around and go into all their stores, but they closed so early. We were done with dinner about 6:20, and I think everything around us closed at 6. So that was a little bit disappointing, but that's okay. Day 4, it is now Tuesday, and we went and set up our stuff out on the beach. And then I had seen that there was an acai stand close by the beach. And growing up in Brazil, I love acai. So we went, and unfortunately they were closed, even though they said they would be open at that time. So we ended up walking down just a couple of feet, and there was a Starbucks there. So we just ended up getting frappuccinos because that was kind of cold and close-ish to a ice cream morning treat, I guess. We asked the girls there if they knew if the acai stand was going to be opening at all, and they said the person that runs it is pretty sporadic. He'll just go on trips randomly and not open. So that was a little bit disappointing. We were both really looking forward to that, but that's okay, you know. Frappuccinos from Starbucks will forever stand as a good little treat. That day when we were on the beach, there were a ton of crabs out, so we were enjoying watching them dig their little holes and come out and throw their sand out, and kind of fighting over their holes. It was really funny and cute. That night we went to the famous Blue Parrot on St. George Island. That is a staple. If you are visiting there, you have to go there. Their food was really good. So was their service. I got the blackened mahi-mahi, and I got rice with it, and it was really good. The seasoning was perfect. Everything was cooked to perfection, and it was super delicious. My husband ended up having a hamburger that night because he was super hungry, and the hamburger was also 10 out of 10 from him. That night we decided to go crab hunting in the dark, which was super fun. We just had our flashlights on our phone and we're walking the beach, and we weren't really hunting, we weren't picking them up, we were just seeing if we could see any. But that was just a really sweet and fun time that evening. Okay, day 5, it is now Wednesday, and we had woken up early to go stand in line for donuts. There's a donut shop on the island called Webster's Donuts, and they are famous for their line for their donuts and how good their donuts are. So we ended up standing in line for about 2 hours for these cake donuts. They're also kind of a first come, first serve. If they run out, then you don't get what there was. Luckily, they had some chocolate and maple left over, which is both of our favorites, so we were good to go. While we were standing in line, I actually stepped out for a second and ran over to Bayside Coffee to get us some coffees to fuel us for the rest of the line. It was a super cute coffee shop. The girl in there was really sweet and their coffee was super smooth and tasty. So we enjoyed that treat before we got our morning donuts. Are good. It was also kind of cloudy and rainy that morning, so one, it made standing in that line not too bad because it was not hot out, but we ended up spending most of that day inside just kind of reading and hanging out and playing games. Since it was raining outside, it wasn't worth going and trying to swim. Later in the afternoon though, it did clear up and we did run out and dunk in the ocean for a little bit, so we didn't miss out. That afternoon I ended up ordering another pizza from BJ's Pizza. This time we got this chicken and bacon white sauce pizza and it was delicious. Oh my gosh, we still talk about it till now. But it had some green peppers on it and it truly was probably one of the highlights of the trip. Just sitting inside when it was kind of rainy out and eating that pizza, it was delicious. And then that night we went to Patty's Raw Bar and we ended up sharing some snow crab legs, which were really good. Well, I take that back. I think this pregnancy is kind of altering some things because usually I enjoy crab, but I can't lie, I didn't super enjoy it, but my husband loved it, so that's all that really matters. And afterwards we went and got some ice cream. So day 6 is now Thursday and we went down early again to the beach to enjoy the water, and the wind by this time in the week had calmed down. The water was super calm again and it was just a nice cooler morning down by the water and we really enjoyed that. The Blue Parrot opened around 11 a.m. and that restaurant was right next to our Airbnb, which also means it was right on the water. So we walked over to their bar and got some frozen drinks. I got a virgin pina colada and my husband got a virgin strawberry frozen drink. And those were really yummy and fun to sip in the sun. That afternoon we ended up driving around and exploring the island to see all the different houses. There were definitely a ton of beautiful beach homes out there and almost all of them were rental homes. So if you're thinking about going, which you should definitely experience St. George at least one time in your life. Those houses were super cute and most of them had their own pools too, which would have been really nice. A pool would have been great that week, but our Airbnb didn't have one. That evening we went to Mango's Bar and Grill and I ended up just getting a fish sandwich. It was really good. My husband got some ribs and we enjoyed that meal together. Our plan was to leave the next day, Friday morning, so we ended up packing half of the car so we wouldn't get all hot and sweaty the next morning before we started our 6.5 hour drive home. But after we packed half of the car, honestly, I hadn't been sleeping so great. I don't do great sleeping in places that aren't my own home, aren't my own bed. So we were talking and we both kind of joked around. We're like, you know, we already packed half of the car. What if we just packed the rest and drove home tonight? And that's actually what we ended up doing. So we left St. George Island around 8:30 p.m. on Thursday night and drove home, and we got home around 4 o'clock in the morning. But it was totally worth it. It was so nice to get home and sleep in our own bed, and then we ended up having Friday to catch up, relax, and get ready for the new week. So I hope you enjoyed that video, getting to know a little bit more about St. George Island and see how cute it is with its unique buildings and lighthouse. It truly was a really sweet time. We definitely enjoyed celebrating our second wedding anniversary and our baby moon there. I'm a type of person that before I go on a trip, I want to watch videos and read blogs about what other people do and their experiences, and there weren't a lot of newer videos on St. George Island. So hopefully if you're like that and you stumbled on this video, I hope that gave you a good little snippet of things that you can do, places you can go, and delicious food that you can eat while you're there. You should definitely go visit St. George Island. It truly was a really sweet place to visit. All right, well, that's all I have. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day wherever you are, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.